Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to Steve Jackson's Starship Traveler. In the last episode, we restarted our voyage to return home and ran into a planet rife with anarchy and some very nasty guards. And I believe we got some new coordinates and locations, or new stardates and coordinates for new black holes, as well as getting the speed that we need to use from the Rain Lord, so that's very important. But let's go ahead and set course for the large red planet and continue our voyage. You switch to warp drive and head towards the red planet. As you reduce from warp speed, you approach a small gray planet. What are your orders? I don't remember what's what, so let's go ahead and inner orbit around the gray planet. The planet appears to have no life on it, but scanners detect some sort of activity. Okay, I do recall being here. I don't remember what happens. I think it's something bad. Perhaps the regular workings of a machine. You decide to investigate and send out a party in a recon plane to see what is happening. They pilot the plane to the area of the signal and land on the planet. It is rocky and barren, but not far from where they have landed they find a scout ship of a type they've never come across before, crashed into the surface. Will you tell them to investigate it further? Yeah, that's what I would do, even if I know something horrible is about to happen. They can find no signs of the pilot. Perhaps he has died or was killed in the crash. An automatic signal, probably a type of mayday call, is being transmitted by the ship's radio. There being nothing else to see on the planet, your crew return to the recon plane and fly back to the ship. Landing the recon plane, the party make their way to the briefing room to report to you. As they relate their findings, you are interrupted suddenly with an urgent message. Captain, we've lost 3 of our engineering personnel who were involved with docking the recon plane. They're all dead. What will be your first command? Put the medical landing party into quarantine in the medical section? Seal off the docking bay, or jettison the recon plane? Let's seal off the docking bay first. We may be able to put them into quarantine afterward. Quickly, the crew seal off the affected area so as to prevent the spread of this unknown killer. No more deaths are reported. Cool. Let's consult with the medical team. Using an EVA, extravehicular activity suit, Medical Officer Muscles examines the body of one of the victims. They find that the man has been poisoned. The planet below must have some sort of poisonous gas in its atmosphere, and this has now been carried back to the ship. What now, Captain? Well, let's have Muscles search for an antidote. You wait impatiently for Medical Officer Muscles to return from the medical section. Hopefully they'll be able to succeed in creating an antidote for the crew. So, 11 or lower? Good old Medical Officer Muscles. Medical Officer Muscles comes up with a possible antidote and injects themselves. They go down to the docking bay without an EVA suit and wait. That's brave. An hour later, they have still shown no signs of illness. The antidote has worked. So let's get our own treatment. Back on the bridge, you set course. Ahead of you are 2 planets. Well, we can set course for the large red planet, set course for the blue planet, or set course for a small, fast-moving spot with signs of life. Let's try the blue planet. You approach the blue planet and take up orbit position. Scanners indicate that the planet is inhabited and there is considerable development of the planet's surface by some intelligent life form, suggesting a well-organized social structure. You try various radio frequencies, and after some time, an alien face appears on the screen. Dressed in a uniform of some kind, the creature is humanoid but thin, with a large bulbous head and bony fingers. He announces himself as First Officer Aya Bale of the National Government of Jolson 3. These are the ones with the kids, I believe. And we do get coordinates or something from them, so let's go ahead and beam down and visit. We've already seen this. Oh no, we haven't! As you approach in his office, Aya Bale comes forward to greet you. From his surroundings, you deduce that his society is indeed sophisticated, with a technology far more advanced than your own. I don't recall this. The surface of his desk floats in the air and he sits behind it, apparently on thin air. He invites you to sit, but there are no chairs. Cautiously you sit as he has done, and some unseen force takes your weight. And he grabbed chairs. Around the walls are moving holograms, positioned as an Earth executive may have works of art hanging in his office. To the sides of his desk is a screen which he talks into. Moments later, another alien arrives with a tray of what you assume are refreshments. Aya Bale introduces this newcomer and offers you food and drink. I guess let's go ahead and take the refreshments. Don't want to insult him by declining. These offerings have a somewhat synthetic taste and texture, but are not unpleasant, and you begin to talk to the first officer about your own world while he tells you about Jolson 3. A short time later, you begin to feel drowsy. Crap. Which is very strange as you are not due a rest for several hours. Your eyelids get heavy and you must fight through to remain conscious. Too late you realize that your food was drugged. You hear Ayabel in a muffled voice saying to his assistant, "Let us take our visitor to the portal lab." And you lose consciousness. Well, at least we're not doing any games with giant bladed robots. You awake and try to move. You struggle, but some invisible force holds your limbs. You're in a clean, white room with various machines and computer terminals on hover tables around the walls. Ayabel stands before you. "Stranger," he begins, "you have a privileged opportunity to aid our technological development. Our technicians have developed a space-time portal which acts as a doorway between our universe and your own. We have chosen you as our first experimental subject." "Oh, that's interesting. I don't want to be a guinea pig, though." He points to one corner of the room where a freestanding frame, something like a door frame, stands. Looking through the frame, you can see nothing. Two technicians pull you to your feet and hold you in front of the frame. Another presses a button on a small gadget, and with a faint buzz, your hands and feet are free. You try to break the grip of your captors, but as you do so, they push you forwards through the frame. We got just tossed into a stargate. As you pass through the frame, you fall forwards. You panic, but then you realize that you're not really falling, but rather floating downwards through empty space. Gradually, your surroundings become lighter, and you can see that you are coming to a sort of pathway. Ooh! Can I head back? Okay. Seemingly made of a non-material energy. As you alight on it to look around, the path twists and turns, forks and converges ahead of you like a spider's web set in a black void. The path appears to be able to support your weight, but all around is empty blackness. Cautiously, you proceed along the path, feeling your way with your feet. The strange transdimensional compass that Brancel gave you begins to line up. Remembering his words, you concentrate on the path the compass indicates you should take. Fair enough. The strange internet that Brancel gave you. Oh, yeah, that's the Rain Lord, I think. I forgot that he gave us a compass. You step into space, and to your surprise, your foot touches something solid which bears your weight. Moving forward, you hear an electrical buzz and a flash of light blinds you momentarily. When you open your eyes, you find yourself back in the portal lab with Ayabel and his technicians watching you. They rush forward to congratulate you. Their experiment has been successful. As Ayabel takes you from the lab back to his office, he explains that they were able to monitor your activities with their instruments and that the experiment has answered several of the unknowns that they have come across in their investigations. However, although their portal may transport your crew back to their own universe, they would be stranded without the ship. The ship would need a much bigger portal, but their investigations indicate that such portal will occur naturally at a certain time in the vicinity of a black hole in Sector 159. Ayabel shows you on a star chart where Sector 159 is. You ask about other planets in the galaxy. He's unable to give you details, but suggests you head for Malini, a mining planet several light years away. That's the one with the robot. You contact the ship and prepare to board it. So that's cool, that compass came in handy. I think this is pretty much like Appointment with Fear, is you can go off a little bit from the directed path, but there's certain things you have to get, otherwise you are pretty much screwed. Medical Officer Muscles restores the crew. Leaving orbit around Jolson 3, you search the area for life-supporting planets with your scanners. A small yellow planet is picked up as the nearest. Let's see exactly where we are. Well, let's go to the yellow planet. Why not? Actually, let's bookmark. There we go. You take up orbit position around a small planet circling a large yellow star. Scanners indicate the planet is probably devoid of life and the surface is hot and volcanic. Is this the one with the lava? Let's beam down. Assemble your crew for the small planet with the hot volcanic surface. Oh, this is. Let's get Zarg. And Muscles I don't think Muscles needs to be here. And let's get Drake. Yeah, it is. I think we've been here before, but I'll go ahead and read it anyway. You and the crew members accompanying you down to the planet's surface head for the transmatter unit. You leave the ship and reappear on the surface of the planet. The heat is tremendous, and the cooling systems within your EVA suits must work at maximum. The surface of the planet is volcanic, and small eruptions in the ground around you spray out in molten lava. I think I made the reference that this is like Star Trek Into Darkness. Or at least the beginning. What are your orders? Let's scan for signs of life. The extreme temperature on the planet prevents your scanner from functioning properly. There's no way of telling whether or not life exists here. Yeah, let's abandon this inhospitable planet and return to the ship, because we know what's going to happen. You contact the ship and instruct them to beam you up. You rise back in the transmatter unit, glad to have left the inferno below, and return to the bridge. 2 staminas restored. And now a large gray planet some 2.3 light years ahead. Sensor indicates you're approaching a large spaceport. We don't need repairs or anything. I don't believe so. Let's check the... Nope, we're good. Let's continue onward. And... oh, this is the mining outpost. So, if I recall correctly... we can go ahead and skip this place, though, because remember what happens. We have to fight the giant warbot. So let's leave orbit and continue onwards. I mean, let's bookmark this for right now. We can come back here in case we need the coordinates or anything we get from these guys. Medical Officer Muscles, okay. The navigation officer informs you that there are 2 locations being picked up on the Traveler's scanners, a large wheel-shaped structure, and a hyperspace jump away, a small black planet. Now, if I recall, the wheel-shaped structure is a starport where we can repair. Let's go to the small black planet. You drop out of hyperspace near a small black planet. Scanners cannot locate life on its surface. Well, let's beam down anyway. Why not? Let's get Zarg and Muscles, since there doesn't seem to be high-density planet with metallic crust. You may benefit from additional advice from your crew. Perhaps you could speak with your science officer or your engineering officer, or perhaps you could explore the planet right away. Alright, let's speak to Zarg. The planet is black and barren with a rough, rocky surface. You explore for half an hour and then decide to beam back to your ship as your air will shortly run out. Trying your communicator, you are horrified to find you cannot reach the ship. Science Officer Zarg suggests that this may be because of the magnetic rocks on the planet jamming your signal. Consider the problem for some time and come up with an idea. 10 or lower. Good old Zarg. They suggest that you concentrate your phasers on a nearby rock. Soon the rock is white hot and they hope that this light and heat will be picked up by the ship. Your oxygen is getting dangerously low, but all you can do is wait. A few moments later, Science Officer Zarg dematerializes and you breathe a sigh of relief as you disappear. Your party reappears in the transmatter unit. You climb out of your grav suit minutes before the last of your oxygen depletes. Well, that's good. You scan space around you. Ahead is a greeny gray planet which will reach in a few hours. There also seems to be a space station a short distance away. That's the giant wheel. Let's try the greeny gray planet. You reduce speed some distance from the planet and take up orbit position. Scanners indicate the greeny gray planet supports life and there are positive indications of intelligent beings. So let's get Zarg and Muscles and beam down. Here we go. This is the one with the kids. So we go through here. We decide to follow the child because the adults are the, I guess, the lower species. Not the lower, but you know, the not super intelligent ones. And let's see. Accept Luff's help in searching for passage to the universe, because we'll get coordinates. Return to the meeting room. And now we have a bargain because he wants to investigate weapons and defense systems on the planet. And let's bookmark this. And right now, let's go ahead and honor our agreement with Luff like we did last time. 3 technical staff appear through one of the doors and you all beam back to the ship. You allow Luff and his staff to access to your computer and take them on a tour of your engineering section. After a couple of hours, they all have the information that they need. Beam down back to the planet, or beam back up to the ship, rather. You train your scanners on space, searching for your next destination. It appears there are no life-supporting planets within range. You decide to try a hyperspace jump into another sector of space. Cool. Oh, here we go. Your crew are becoming anxious about their fate. Will they be spending the rest of their lives searching space for a dimension gate which may never appear? You are called on to make a statement to reassure them. Have you learned the time and space coordinates of the black hole, which will hopefully take you back to your own universe? I believe I have? You call all your section heads to the briefing room and announce that you believe you have the space and time coordinates for a likely black hole. If your velocity and timing are right, you ought to be able to pass through this black hole, which may be the Celestian Void, and emerge in Earth's universe. You return to the bridge and prepare your journey, setting off towards your black hole. You organize a list of potential space warps which might lead you home. Okay, so we have a choice between the black hole in Sector 228. You are quite confident that Ayabel's recommendation of the space warp at Sector 159 is correct. Ayabel's portal experiments were incredibly advanced. Well, those are our two options. I'm going to go with Ayabel's because our compass went off. Now that you worked out where to travel, you need to work out when to be there. You organize a list of potential times the space warp could occur. Remembering your travels to planet Traeril 6, you think back to your encounter with the strange inhabitants there. Luff, one of the children with advanced intelligence, was quite sure that Stardate 21 was correct. Oh, we only got one Stardate. Oh, crap. Okay, let's go ahead and try it. With time and coordinates locked in, you set a course for what you hope will be the way home. I hope this is the right one, guys. Otherwise, we're going to have to bookmark back and see what we missed. You set course and arrive at the black hole, dropping out of warp speed some distance from it. Carefully planning your angle of entry and your velocity, you head into the dark void. You feel the Traveler being taken by the immense gravitational forces and order all crew to strap themselves in. Suddenly, the ship lurches forward and begins to speed up. The G-force is unbearable. You, along with the rest of your crew, pass out. Oh, this is the... Save the cat, make it home safely home with the ship's cat. Holy crap, we did it! Complete the game in classic mode. You regain consciousness and look around to find that the other crew members are doing the same. Thank you, Ayabel. You instruct your navigation officer to report on your position and switch the screen to visual. As the picture clears, you can see space in front of you. Is this your own universe? In the distance, you can just make out a large, familiar-looking object. Your communications officer shouts excitedly, "Captain, I'm picking up a signal coming from somewhere ahead of us. They claim to be Substation Einstein. I think we've made it." Switching the message to visual, you are soon able to confirm that the message is indeed coming from one of your own substations. You've made it through the black hole and back into your own universe. As Scratchy curls up and falls asleep in a corner, the crew gather around to congratulate you. You've successfully guided the Traveler and its crew safely home. The end. How awesome was that? I thought that we were pretty much screwed when we saw that we only got one Stardate coordinate, but apparently those were the right ones. And we even got Scratchy the Cat back home and Ensign Mike Nelson. Okay, guys. Well, that was Steve Jackson's Starship Traveler, by another fighting fantasy title by Tin Man Games. This one was really fun. I don't know if I think I like it pretty much the same as Judge Dredd Countdown Sector 106. This is pretty fun, I have to say. I'm probably going to see if I can find more of these titles. I know there are quite a few, and I may be tearing into a new one this coming Saturday. Who knows? But I hope you guys have enjoyed the playthrough and the you know, the twists and turns and time warps that we went through. But if you liked the video, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help, and we'll see you in the next series. Later days, everyone.